Welcome everyone, another day on Dragonheir Silent Gods. Yesterday we tested Flora, which is a wild hero, and all the wild heroes. We did a video on YouTube about this, the hierarchy and damage for all the wild heroes. So that'll be season 1, season 2, season 3, since you get all those heroes right away at season 1. What we're trying to do is get the most damage on chief challenges, the Vortex boss, and the in-game boss, if that in-game boss is single target like it is for season 3. Season 1 and 2, the in-game boss is AoE. You want to do a lot of AoE on that boss, so really, we're not going to use wild heroes for that one. So what we're going to do is take all that information from all the wild testing we did and go to the Vortex boss today and make teams and see which teams do the best with in-game gear. All in-game gear. We're going to try to load them out as powerful as we can with the best artifacts as we can, and we're going to have to switch around a few artifacts to see, you know, who really does the best, because there were a few there that looked like they were really close to each other, but now that we have them in a team composition, we'll probably be using the pipe organ on somebody to get range damage, and we'll use, of course, Witch's Remains, so we'll have decreased defense up from time to time, so it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be fun. If you're not playing Dragonheir Silent Gods, download it with the link down below. You can jump over to Steam and download it there. You can download it on your mobile device. Come join us on Discord. My Discord is always active, and then their official Discord is down there as well, where you can see all the updates, whole bunch of people talking over there. You'll always have friends to play with and help. Yo, Java, what's happening? Java newbie in the house. Thanks for the hard work. Hey, man, appreciate it. Yeah, we did that all yesterday. And then, of course, I had to record that video last night for all the wild stuff, including Flora, right? You didn't watch the 2-hour video? Did you watch the 20-minute video to where I broke down all the wild heroes? Now we got to look at gear. Like, I got to see how I'm going to gear these guys out, you know? Yo, RHCX, what's up, my man? Ron, I'm just going to go with Ron. Did you change that? Was there always Ron after that? I feel like I've seen RHCX in here many times. I've seen you in here many times, but I don't remember the Ron. You watched the 2-hour one. Oh, well, I appreciate your support. You watched the long 2-hour stream. Okay, sweet. Awesome. Cheers, man. Yeah, I did a video right before I uploaded that 2-hour live stream on YouTube. I did a 20-minute video going over all the findings that we had for all the wild heroes that we tested. All the different artifacts, all the spreadsheet with the big long spreadsheet with all the information, breaking all that down. You did? You just added Ron? Okay, I thought so. I don't remember, because if Ron would have been there before, I would have said Ron. Much easier, right? Much. Okay, good change. Very good change. All right, let's go look at Vortex Boss and see what we need to do. Usually, when we did Vortex Boss testing, we did do a Season 3 Vortex Boss tier list for teams. All the teams that did Aura Shadow, we placed them up against... Where's that list at? Hold on, let me see. Not sure where we placed that list. We've got download from there. We've got so many different lists. Hold on, YouTube's doing stuff. I got an Albion Online advertisement. Where are the comments when you look at it from this view? This is weird. Okay, maybe it's over on this one. I'm curious where we hit all that information. So we've got AoE, DPS, single target damage dealing, AoE damage dealing, Otherworld. It's not on... All right. I'm going to have to get all these either together on one Excel or make sure that I put all the different links down below on my videos, because I'm looking at this one right here and I can't find it. This one right here is for Season 1. We did single target damage testing, AoE. We've got recipes, which are really handy. I still use this. Come in here and Control F, type in the recipe that I need, and I find it. The merchants, where to find it. And then Copper Dragon from a long time ago. I guess I'll keep it in here. This is kind of a Season 1 tab. Artifacts, rare tier list, dungeon tier list, epics, Otherworld. So I have no idea. Hold up. Let me look over here. Tier list, that's the one we were working on yesterday. Season 1. Untitled spreadsheet. Let me check this. No, Otherworld. No, this one needs to be deleted. Otherworld Season 3 plan? No. Stew's video Season 3. It's not a very good title. Oh no, that's my season 3 videos. It's not a very good title for what we need. Oh, this is really crazy. I'm gonna have to go back to that YouTube video and check out that YouTube video, but we tested so much for the Vortex Boss and all the teams. We actually ran it on Vortex Boss 2. We did it with an unkillable team. We had Ogok and Zephy in there. On this exact test server this season, we ran all those teams through there, and I'm having a hard time finding that. Like a really hard time finding that actual Vortex tier list. Nope, this isn't it either. Okay, I'll have to go back to that video and try to find it. What do you need? 2,000 stamina? Man, we've got way more than 2,000 stamina. We're rocking it on the test server for sure. We've got everything. It's kind of sad because I want to find that Vortex tier list and compare it to what we're doing today, because we can use pretty much the same gear that we used on that one. If I go over here to my videos and I do search and put Vortex tier list. New Vortex tier list. Okay, this is, yeah, 1 month ago. This has got to be it, right? Right here, Vortex tier list, new Vortex tier list. This has to be when we came in here and we did Amon. We've got Aura. We have all those. But where did we put that? Oh, it's here. It is on the season 1. I'm so blind. It was right there at the first tab. I couldn't see it on the season 1 tier list. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that the gear we were using on this, see this gear set 1? Gear set 1 with, oh, we're using the aerial gear set. 100% chance to crit. We had the Carnage gloves with crit rate. I'm almost positive that's the same gear set we have still saved. Although I wanted to use Emperor set because we get the most damage, but here we can use this set because we're just comparing groups of people to groups of people. We're not trying to get the most damage possible. We're just seeing what 3 teams do the most damage. So same gear set on everybody. This will still play. And then we can compare all of our findings to everybody else. Because all those numbers that we have for this testing are all still very accurate. And we have Rook in here, Sacredia teams, all the rare teams with every single rare and epic for Corrosion. We've got Ice Blast in here to compare them with the same gear. So we've got Girth in here with Beldel, Shinna, Nord, Bledin, all that team. We're coming in here with the Shadow team against the Vortex Boss. And we ran them for 150 stacks, total damage. We used Ogok's 30 resistance aura, so we didn't mess anything up. And then you can see the different artifacts we used on different. We had Witch's Remains, Roots, Horseshoe sometimes. We used Eyeball a lot of times. And then we come down to Aura on there, which will be the same, like same tier list. Even though we're doing this on the Vortex Boss, if you use 3 DPS from Aura, like you see here, and then you use 2 support to go do a Chief Challenge, you can get an idea of which Aura team will do the most damage on that Chief Challenge, depending on what you have in your roster. So you come over here and you're like, okay, I have these 3. These 3 though that I do have will do more damage than these other 3. Let me level those up and use those with 2 support on that. Emperor set does more damage on Vortex. I think it does if you have enough attack. Maybe not. I think if you have enough attack, it will. You just got to have attack gloves, attack percentage, attack. It should. That's what I see the top people still using is Emperor set on Vortex Boss. You don't use crit rate gloves. You use attack percentage gloves. Here we're just trying to get 100% chance to crit because then it'll keep our numbers really standard. We won't have a big variation in numbers. We won't have any variation if they don't have something like a wild proc. It'll always be the same. Okay, so now that I've got that, let's go make sure that we have that same gear. Let's get over to the Vortex Boss. If I can find my way there. And there we go. What teams we doing? We're going to work on all those teams that we did yesterday. All that stuff that we did for Wild. We're going to work on those teams right now. And then we're done with Wild, and I want to go over to summons after this because a lot of people have Charlatch, the new summons for new players. They have the artifact that you get for free, and we want to see what kind of damage summons can do compared to everybody else. Like, what are the best summon damage dealers out there? What are the best teams for summons out there? I kind of want to go to Poison, though, too, because I really like Poison, and the 3 Poison that are the fun ones are going to be Vakana, Jathali, and Lothair. We're not going to see really good results from all the other poison heroes, but with those 3 legendaries, we're going to see some really cool stuff going on with those. And out of 3 poison legendaries, somebody's going to have some luck and have one of those 3. Although I don't have any of those 3 on my main account, unfortunately. I wish I did. I wish I could have fun with those, but I don't. Okay, so if we bring these in, I don't think I even have any team saved anymore for... No, I don't. We can just get rid of all this. We're going to be using different gear, different hero setups. There's a team for... Okay. There's a corrosion team we were using with Flora. With Rook. All those are gone bye-bye. Okay, let me get some sound in here too. It's a little bit quiet. I know we don't have music playing ever, but let's get a little bit of game sound in the background at least. More than 3,000 attack? Or, yeah, much higher than that. 5,000 attack? You're going to have a lot of attack. You're going to have the attack gloves. You're going to have the attack percentage chest, attack percentage gloves. You're going to have attack on the runes down below. Don't do critical damage on that left side rune. Do attack. And then, you know, look for crit rate substats if you need that, of course. Go with the crit rate substats. You'll see the gear in just a second. But I'll give you, or I'll show you what gear I would do if I was going to do that. But test it out, because when I do the aerial set with Amon, I get more damage than I would with Emperor set on Vortex. But then when I use Emperor set on some other heroes, I get better results. You'll be so low on defense. I mean, if you need survivability, if you need defense, by this point in the season, with your 15% less damage taken, your guys are surviving much longer. All Vortex always matters about what support. So if we're using fire right now, right? Fire in season 3, it just matters what support we can use with that. Of course, we've got some fire support we can use with Adolphus and others, but it always matters what other element we're aligned with for really how well you're going to do for the season for that element. Like Ice Blast would be great this season, but I think Ice Blast is paired up with Necrosis maybe, so it makes it really hard for them to survive long. Always depends on what support you have for how long you're actually really going to last on the Vortex boss, or even against Chief challenges. All matters about that support. Are we getting decreased attack? Are we getting a lot of heals in there? Do we have a healer that can do decreased attack, like Furbath, something like that? Do we have a healer that can give us insane shields, like Garius if you have the staff? It's just, you know. All right, what teams are we going to do? So from yesterday, when we looked at all these teams, I wanted to play around with Casper, Alfie, Felicity, Casper, Alfie, and Foley, and then we can do Casper in a regular team. We can do Erich and Total Nan, because we'll be doing Erich and Total Nan on Flora. But Erich and Total Nan aren't going to really proc a lot. Really, we need to do somebody else that procs more. But I do want to try out Casper. I think Casper looks really cool. I want to see what we can do as far as damage goes with Casper, what kind of teams we can make with Casper, and then see how he pairs up against all the other teams that we're going to make. So I'm hoping he can do some damage, right? Has not many good healers. Right, it's really hard. It's really all about your support. But I guess we're just going to do this unkillable team. We'll go to 150 stacks just like we do. Once we get to 150 stacks, the boss will just cleave, kill the whole entire team, and we'll get to see what kind of damage we have. But let's see what artifacts we have made up. So if we're going to go with Casper, Felicity, and Alfie, right? I guess I could name that Casper. Okay, now let's check it out. I do want Emperor set on our boy here, because then he'll do 20%. He'll have 20 skill haste. Then we just get a little bit more skill haste down here, and he'll be better off. And with his additional attack that he gets right here, he builds up 100% additional attack. So I think Emperor set is obviously going to do more damage, because he's going to have really high attack. I'm assuming he's going to do 50% additional damage with that additional attack. He should. He should be at the max amount for Emperor set. So maybe we'll just go all Emperor set. It just matters what we have saved and what we can play around with it. Here's the problem with Emperor Set. It's really hard to get 100% chance to crit if we're going to go with attack gloves on Emperor Set. And if we go with crit rate gloves, it's going to defeat the purpose of using that. Can I not view it here? Can I not view like what's on these pieces? Attack or crit rate? It's kind of weird, isn't it? I can't click on them. So Emperor 2, I assume, has attack percentage, right? But the crit rate is really low. 57% chance to crit. Even with crit rate down here, we're probably not going to have really high crit rate. And we want 100% chance to crit so we don't have weird numbers with each of these things that we test. Let me go over to... well, we're just doing with the aerial set. Aerial set on... all we need is 38. All we need is 38... let's see if we can pick up 38 for him. As far as skill haste goes. Just on the runes alone. Attack with 19. He's got attack with 18. Not much more. We'll take this one. This one gives him nice attack too and attack speed. That's good. Come on, give me some big hits. 19 again? $38. We're right at 38. Perfect. Okay, so we'll just put him on the aerial set. Now, who out of here are we going to have do Witch's Remains? Who's going to do our Witch's Remains? We've got 3 hits over here on Felicity for Witch's Remains. We could definitely do that. And then we could try to do the most damage as possible with Casper. Let's try that out first. And we'll be more consistent with our Witch's Remains because Casper will try to apply it with 1 hit here. And then if we do get a wild proc, he'll try to apply it again. But it's, you know, who knows the timing when that's going to happen. Could be right when he starts his ultimate. It could be 5 seconds to 10 seconds after he starts his ultimate. Have you tried Burn on Vortex? Burn on Vortex. Well, I've never tried Burn on Vortex. No. We could try it with Eracius. I didn't even try Burn on Vortex with our Vortex tier list that we did. Like, you can look at this tier list here. And I didn't even try Burn on that. And we tried all the new stuff with a few of the old things, like the good ones. Because we know Ice Blast is massive on Vortex, but Burn isn't. Burn really isn't. Maybe if you have Ash, the exclusive, he does an insane amount of damage. Sure, you could try him out if you wanted to. Anytime you have an exclusive, definitely try to play toward that. Always. But that'd have to be another... I mean, we'll do it. We'll do all burns just like we did all wild right now. And then we'll do every single element. I think we'll have time if we really work on it to do most of the elements. Okay, so for damage, we're going to go over here and we're just going to stick with the same sets we use for this big old tier list that you see right there that I pinned. Which should be this one. What did I make notes with? Where? Okay, I made notes on this set that we were using. Witch's Remains, Artifact. Okay, Roots, and we're using Eyeball a lot. So here, I guess we'll go with the Eyeball because he's doing the most of his damage on his. Well, actually, this guy does really good damage on his battle skill too, like extremely well. Let's look at what artifacts we're kicking off for him. Eyeball was 3.1 million. The statue was 3.1 million. Horseshoe was 3.5 million. Okay, we'll just stick with Eyeball. We'll keep everybody with Eyeball to keep it simple for our main damage dealer. We've got 100% chance to crit. And then here, I do not remember. I'd have to go back and look through my video to know what. We were using it on Ice Blast though, so it would be different. But it would be critical damage and crit rate if we needed it. Wow, we got a lot of options here. We'll go with the lowest crit rate on that. And this would be attack with crit rate. But we don't need crit rate on him right now, so... But we're only going to use 2 of these. So crit rate 13, crit rate 4. There we go. We're over capped. That way if we have a DPSer that's like a rare and doesn't have a lot of crit rate base, this guy's got 20, then we'll still be at 100% chance to crit. So we'll keep this gear. So that'll be our Casper. Now we've got Felicity. She's going to be our Witch's Remains, I guess. I mean, we got to go with what we've got. This is going to be 3 hits on our Witch's Remains. That's fine, because really what we want to do is have her battle skill go off after Casper's ultimate and try to have her battle skill happen twice during Casper's ultimate is really what we want, if we can make that happen. So for Felicity, we're going to do battle skill. I think this one has how much accuracy? 35 and none. Right, critical damage. Massive crit rate. Man. Okay, now we're going to need accuracy. Crit rate, critical damage would be nice. And we're going to use, we've got a leader skill of attack percentage or critical damage, which is really cool to be able to pick from. Oh, we're going to use Ogox, that's right. Oh, she's going to do Witch's Remains. What am I talking about? What am I talking about here? 192. That should be enough on this boss. And then our guy here is going to be in our second DPS set. Oh, I put it on the wrong one. Okay, that one, right. Okay, with Alfie, what do you guys want to put on Alfie? We'll put the statue on him because all he has is a battle skill doing damage with. Where'd she go? I needed this set on her that had more accuracy. 100% chance to crit all around. Everybody's set up. We just got to do our skill timing of 14 seconds and 24 seconds, 26 seconds. Do you guys remember 14:26? I think should be on the sheet. Vortex. 14:26. Okay, so she's going to do her battle skill at 5 seconds initial, and then 15 seconds will be the next one. So if he does his at 14.5, right after he's done doing his ultimate for the next 15 seconds, 14.999. And if she's doing her battle skill, we don't want to interrupt that. We want to do her ultimate, and she's got Witch's Remains. So we want to do, we can do her ultimate before. And then that'll enhance his. So we can try to apply Witch's Remains at 14.5. She'll do her battle skill at, which hits harder, at 15 seconds. Let's see if this matches up. Alfie's going to be on his own because he's got 100% uptime for doing that. Why does it say change gear? Save gear? Yes. Double check. Attack, crit rate, critical damage, attack, critical damage. Ooh. With this set, we want critical damage on him. Attack, crit rate. Okay.
Take your time. Haste breeds mistakes.
Take your time. There it is. Now he's overcapped. Good. His base is 18. That's pretty good. Okay, Ogox got no gear. Zephy's got no gear, but I think the... Whoa, Zephy, you can't come coming in with this.
Wealth can aid the weak, but it can also lead the strong to lose faith.
All right. What's up, man? Evil Fate, how you doing today? Sorry if I missed anybody. We're just trying to get this set up so I can put it on auto right here. Let's go. It's going to take time because we don't have 10 times speed. Let's make sure, though. We need to look at the 15-second mark. Okay, here's what we're looking for. Right, he's going to have that up the whole entire time. We're going to do the ultimate right here to try to get Witch's Remains off of 3 hits from Felicity. And then right after that, we're going to have him do his... Casper do his ultimate, and then Felicity's going to do her battle skill for 3 wild procs. Boom. Didn't get it. Let's go, Casper. Right after this, we should see Felicity hit 3 times in a row. There it is. So Casper should have thrown a whole bunch of daggers. Stay positive. And then she should have battle skilled. I feel like she did her battle skill a little bit late after he did his ultimate. Right? There's her ultimate. We got Witch's Remains up finally. It feels late, I think, because we're having that lock from his animation. So now he does that. But she's supposed to do her... Look how long it seems like it's taken before she does her... But 10 seconds later, she should do it again, which is the same time that we're still in the window with Casper's 15-second ultimate for her to affect it again. But it seems like it never does. There she goes. I can't tell if Casper's throwing daggers or not. I really can't tell. Just finished a season with Rust. What's going on? Session. A session with Rust. Okay, I got you. Nice. But on season 2, it's not that good. I guess if season 3 with Radiance works better. No. With Radiant for what? I have all legendary burns. You have all the legendary burns. So you've got Karf, which is great. Karf works in every season, no matter what. And you don't even need to worry about having a burn team. Karf is just an absolute beast to hit the whole entire board, do a lot of damage, get up some burns. Burns that also explode or hit people around them as well. And then applying Witch's Remains or something like that is great with him. And he still does awesome damage. So Karf is going to be somebody that you'll always play. Durham? I don't know. Durham, I'm an okay fan of her to put in a burn team. But I'm just not a fan of... Obviously, Durham we're not going to use outside a burn team. Because he buffs burns and he just does burns and some damage. And then what's the other one we have? That's all we have, isn't there? Only 2 right now? That's why I can't wait till next season, man. If next season brings us more burns and more wild heroes, I'm going to be so happy. The game's going to be so much better next season if they just bring in all new elements that we already have. All the damage types that we already have. New ones. New summons. New poison heroes. All that kind of stuff. It's going to be so good. Something like Karf. Yeah, Karf is he's just good. He's just really, really good. It's awesome to have heroes like that are so good that they work out well even outside of their team element. Like we don't have to worry about wild. Did you get Ash though? Did you get the exclusive? You said you have all legendary burns. Did you get the exclusive one? Because if you got him, he hits really hard single target and he does insane AoE damage. I would like to play around with him. I'd like to have him. Even though he's melee, he still would be a lot of fun to play with. And I don't know what kind of damage he can do on the Vortex. Obviously, it's not as good as other single target Vortex teams, but it still would be fun to make a team around him. I don't see why not. And we'll do it. We'll get to burns eventually. I really want to do poison next, and then people were talking about summons because summons are, you get Charlatch for free and you get that summon artifact for free. So they were curious, would it be good to do summons now and for people who are just joining the game? Although just, summons aren't that great, right? If you're trying to roll around on the Vortex boss with your Charlatch and your chicken, which we've already shown that the chicken will die, and you're trying to get damage from, what's his name? Is it Tyrion? It's just not the team you should really build. Yeah, you have him, right? If you have him, then yeah, I would definitely try to do something for Vortex Boss with him. Depending on what else you have. If you have another exclusive like Lothair, then you should probably go with Lothair. Maybe over him. I don't know. I've never played him extensively like that. I've only played him to put up some burns, do some AoE damage on the test server, and be like, damn, this guy can hit, That's all I've done. Joyce for summons work? Yeah, Joyce is an awesome single target damage dealer, but we already did a tier list for... What did we do with that tier list? I did a video on summons recently. Izzetarian. The Izzetarian video I did, we took summons in there. We've always shown Joyce. From way back season 1, I did a video on Joyce being a high single target damage dealer. He's on my single target damage dealer from season 1 tier list, and you can see how high up he is. But that still doesn't make summons good though. That he's a good single target damage dealer. We got to have more than that. We got to have other summons that are also amazing at doing single target damage. And Joyce isn't amazing at doing single target damage. He just does high single target damage instead of like middle of the line, which most are at. Actually, a lot are really, really low. He's just a little bit up there. It's not like Joyce is blowing anybody away, you know? Summons, unfortunately, need a buff. Like, overall, summons just need a buff. We can use them against chief challenges. We can use them against the in-game boss, if that's what you have. But normally, you don't really worry about them too much. I've got 2 summon teams for the chief challenges right now that we're fighting. And I only have 2 because the second one has Liliwanis in it. And she's an exclusive. So of course, she's powerful. So I put her in her team. And I squeaked by with 22 million with her in that team. And then the other team, which I do have Joyce, Izzetarian, and Zadok in it, they do 22 million much easier because they don't have to worry about dying so easily against a boss that does a lot of AoE damage. Because Liliwanis is melee, so she runs up there with Urzilis or somebody else I have in there that's also melee, and they just get all blown up. Any news from the game devs? Not yet, not today. I was hoping we'd have news soon about the test server going down and being the in-game boss for us in Season 3 being fixed. Because they're fixing it, and they said they'll get it to us this week, but I hope it's later today. I hope it's sometime today, because I want to be able to test the boss before we have to fight the boss. Before we have to fight the boss for us, right? We want to play test the boss before we fight it in Season 3. Oh no. I was running something over on here. How many days do we have left? I'll log into Dragonheir down on my tablet, but how many... What do we got? Like 6 days left? On the live? Man, we really need 10 times speed on the Vortex. We've been asking for 10 times speed on Vortex for a long time. Anybody who tests on Vortex on the test server or test on the live server, it doesn't matter. But no news yet. Let's go check out Discord and see if there's anything. Oli Papa said something to community managers about getting us, it would be really fun to have a clan boss that we all work toward doing damage to get better rewards. Not just the Vortex boss, like a separate clan boss. And he says, I'm sure you have it for something way down the lines, but he said it'd be really fun if we had something to where we could do damage as a clan, as an alliance, and cooperate together. I feel like that's kind of what we have right here with this, though, because we do get rewards based on this. But I understand what he's saying, like a different boss that we could all have fun and more like Raid. How Raid has it set up to where we all have to do damage to be able to get the end reward, I think is what he's talking about. And then Ivy Lee came in here and said something right now. I don't know if I'm going to repeat it because I don't know what it is yet. Oh, she's talking about rewards. Rewards for the end of the season. Weren't we supposed to get, like, the people who get gold tickets? I understand where she's coming from because before they said that the gold tickets were supposed to be like top 150 or something. But then we went into Season 3 and it was only top 50 got the gold tickets. So they kind of backtrack on what they were saying for that. And Ivy's been asking them about that. Yeah, why not the same as Season 2? Why is it changing in Season 3 to be even more competitive when we're being merged with even more serious players, right? Oh, it's top 50 in Season 2? I don't know. I remember it being like top 100 or top 50 in Season 1. Got gold tickets, and then they changed it. They have a co-op dragon? Yeah, don't they have co-op Hydra in Summoner's War, correct? Back when I played it, we had a co-op Hydra, which you had to play with 2 other people, and then eventually they made it to where you could have save teams, and you didn't necessarily have to be on the game at the same time as they were, but you could still play with their team, right? Yeah, a lot of fun. Sure, they can add all that stuff, but we got more important things to worry about than adding new content as far as new bosses to fight. I'm with you. I want that. I want new content like that. That would be awesome. But we got to fix this season issue first before it gets any crazier. They gotta work on what they're gonna do to get everybody on the same season before we're on season 7 and people are starting out playing on season 1. They got to do something about that. And I'd rather them fix the game, like the core mechanic of the game, or it's not the core mechanic, but the core something with seasons before they move on. And I think it's really easy. I think they're working on it, and I think it's really easy. I don't see why this is even an issue, because the main complaint of anybody is season 1 story. It's not actually season 1 story. It's just a story. It doesn't matter what season you do that story on. You could start as a new player on season 5 with 2 weeks left in season 5 and be doing the story, right? When you go into season 6 from that 2 weeks into season 5, you're still only going into season 6 with the people that started with you. That's it. Same people that started when you started playing. So you're not going in and playing with other people that have much higher power than you, but you still keep your story. Like the story progression is still there. We're still playing on the same map. So I don't know why anybody, like when they talk about it over here, they're always talking about the story as in season 1 needs to be season 1. They need to let go of this whole concept. Seasons, yes, but the story being on season 1 makes no sense. The story can be on any season. We're on the same exact continent. And then if you want to make it to where, you know how we go to those archways and we go in there to get maybe a mallet to upgrade our workstation, our cart, right? Well, you might be going through the main story still. And as long as you're always going through the main story, that main story will always be there for you no matter what season it is. So if you play 2 weeks of season 5 as a new player, you go into season 6, then wherever you were at with story is still going to be there. And you keep following it along. And then if you need to go one of those archways to do an instance archway, like we would do, we would go in there and we'd roll the dice and get the positive or negative for us, like the buffs and the debuffs. You go in there and it's an instance battle. Like it's the same thing. Like you go in there, you click the archway, and then you see the layout to where you got to run through and fight people and do that. But on your normal map, you're going to see the first season 1 story. You're going to see that story go through there until you complete the story. Once you have that story completed and then you go into a new season, you'll no longer see the story stuff. So to me, in my mind, it is such an easy fix. And then of course you got to have shops, in-season shops that have all the previous heroes that we got, like Ardrith and Utyr and all that kind of stuff. You just have them in an in-game season shop. You have all the artifacts from all the other phase, all the other pillars in an in-game shop, and all the problems for this game are solved. Like, that's it. The problems are all solved. Everybody's on the same banner that summons. Like, when it comes up, we all talk about it. Everybody's got access to the same hero pool when we talk about it. Everybody's on the same Vortex. Everybody's using the same sets of gear. There's no asking about, hey, what do I do? What do I do on season 12, week 5, Chief Challenge 13? I mean, there's no more of that, right? Everybody is on the same thing. The game is playing smooth, and people are rotating on the same season. They're in sync. I just feel like it's an easy fix and it's done. And we can move on then with improving the game. No more disconnect. Everybody's a big community now and we're all together. Okay, where are we going to put this? Where are we going to save this information? Down here. Rename Vortex. Okay, so this team was Casper. Is Casper, Alfie, and Felicity. We got Casper with Eyeball. He's in set 1. We've got Felicity with Witches Remains. She's in set 2, I believe. And then we have Alfie with, what did he have on? He had Statue on, I think. with set 3. $24,344,000. All right. Double check that. You had Manicore statue, eyeball, 24 million. Yo, good morning. What's going on? Let me look at the timing really quick. Do you guys agree with this timing? I mean, look at this. We've got Felicity starting her battle skill at 5 seconds. That's the initial time. So at 15 seconds, she's going to do her battle skill again, right? So we want Casper to do his ultimate in last 15 seconds. So right away at 15 seconds, she does her battle skill. Alfie's got her to, so she'll 100% chance to do 3 wild procs. When we do a wild proc, for those 3 wild procs, he's going to throw daggers. He should be throwing 9 daggers total then. She's wild proc, wild proc, wild proc on that battle skill 3 times. She's doing her ultimate before he does his ultimate just to get up Witch's Remains if she can. Although she can wild proc with that, so we could... No, we want this up. We want Witch's Remains up by the time she does 15 seconds. So... But the weird thing was, I swear... Let's try 15 seconds to see what happens. Which would mean, though, with this timing, that 10 seconds later, she's going to do her battle skill again with a 100% chance to do 3 hits, which would be 3 wild procs. And that is within the 15-second window because she's doing it immediately, and then 10 seconds later, she's doing it again. But any testing we did on that second volley that she does doesn't proc this guy to throw his daggers. So it's really... it's kind of broken, to be honest. Didn't get gold tickets? You didn't get... You were 147. You didn't get gold tickets. Okay, so they didn't... So maybe it's always been top 50. There we go. Now, when is she going to do her battle skill compared to his ultimate? All right, his ultimate went off. Battle skill. I'm trying to count 10 seconds from that, but easily 10 seconds will be in his 15-second window. So when she does this battle skill again, we should see daggers fly out. Come on. Battle skill. Felicity, where are you at? There it is. I saw daggers fly out, so he should be at peak damage. Let me run this one more time just to see what kind of 24 million comparable damage we get, and then we'll run to some different teams. Yo, good morning. Leg, how you doing? Legoril? Is that how I said that? Good morning, everybody. It is now 2 p.m. for me over here. I actually went back to sleep this morning. I woke up, I had some breakfast, I started watching YouTube videos, and then I was watching something else. What was I watching? That was just YouTube videos, I think. And it was raining outside, and I just went back to sleep. Then I finally took a shower a little while ago and got moving. Lazy day, man. Really lazy day. Yeah, sorry about these long run times here on the Vortex, but 8:20 a.m. Nice. Just starting out your morning. What do we got? Monday morning for you too? It's Monday, right? I have to check. Yeah, it's Monday. Okay. My kids should be coming home soon from school, I think. Oh, switch to 2x speed. Thank you. Sorry. That'll help out. Jeez, man. We would have been here forever. Going to work? Oh, I remember those days. I actually never mind. I didn't really mind going to work. When I was young, when I was 20 years old, okay, I was not happy to go to work a lot of times because I was going out drinking a lot, so I was hungover. But I was young, I wasn't really taking anything too serious, right? So then, yes, I didn't always like going to work because really I was hungover quite a bit, and it wasn't good. It wasn't a good lifestyle to have, but you're 20. I mean, what do you want? You're making money, you're having a good time, you're not really worried about, where do we go after work to meet up and have drinks and play some pool and have dinner and talk to some chicks, something like that. That's all we wanted to do. And then as I got older and I wasn't going out and drinking all the time, then going to work really wasn't a big deal. I always got, you know, you get enough sleep, you wake up, you enjoy your morning. And I was one of those people that definitely gave myself time. Like, I don't want to rush. I hate rushing. I hate like, oh man, let me get up, shower quick, eat quick, out the door. I like to save time so that I can enjoy like a breakfast, put my clothes on, not really move slow. I'm not talking about like moving slow like I'm an old man, but just really just enjoy my time and get in my car, go to work, not have to rush. If things arise that make it to where, you know, bad traffic or something like that, then I still get there on time. Like I like being early. I really like being early. That way you don't ever have to stress about being late. Non-flora wild team. This is a budget non-flora wild team, and we're seeing how much damage it can do, and we're gonna sub in Flora along with her team soon, and we'll see what the difference is. Flora with just the eyeball on, not with her exclusive artifact. We'll see what we can do. But it's been a while since I've had to work like a real job. A real 9 to 5, like need to be there on time. It's been a while since I've had to do that. And I understand it's not always great. My wife does it all the time, so I see it, you know. I see it, but I just don't have to do it anymore. It's really different. I wish my wife didn't have to, because it's nice. I got to admit, it is pretty nice when you don't really have to worry about when you start working or do something in your day, you know. You got all day to be able to do it. Is this more damage? I mean, we went to 24 million. I can't really tell at 25 stacks. Although we're going to 150 stacks, I feel like this is doing more damage. Okay, there we go. Now we should have her proc her battle skill. But see, I feel like she's doing her battle skill further and further out, which shouldn't be the case unless when people do their ultimate, it's interrupting their battle skill, right? The ultimate animation could be trying to happen at the same time that a battle skill is trying to go off, and then maybe it pushes that battle skill a little bit further out, and then it's on like a weird rotation. Anybody think that that's a thing? Because from our first initial 10 seconds, 20 seconds, let me count it down. Let me count down second wise. We can see the seconds up there. We're at 16, right above my head actually, right here. We're at 16 minutes. Okay, now look at the time up at the top to where she does her battle skill. There it is. So 59. That's definitely in enough time for her to do it again during his 15 seconds. Let's see if it works. Come on, throw daggers, throw daggers. I don't know. I couldn't catch it again. I don't know. All right, 15 seconds from there would be... would be at 29 right here, right? 29. She did it right before 29. I feel like it's still I feel like it's getting pushed back further. No, that one was good. I don't feel like he threw daggers at that point when she did her battle skill the second time there. I didn't see him fly out. I think there's something weird going on sometimes with how battle skills work, because we got to wait on their animations and we got to wait on ultimate animations. Yeah, she's way out of whack now. She's doing it too, like 3 seconds too late. Yeah, it's hard to tell, but I'm pretty sure now she's doing it. Like even the initial time she's doing it, it seems like 3 seconds after he does it, which would mean that she would do her second one at 13 or 14 seconds, which would still be in the 15-second window. It does. It's supposed to, right? Unless you're in an ultimate animation lock or something. But we have her ultimate animation separated from when she's doing her battle skill, so that shouldn't be the case. See, this is like 4 or 5 seconds too long after. I need to look at when he pounces down for his ultimate, and then when she does her initial, that's what we need to look at. So when Casper does his ultimate, I need to look at the time above, and then count how many seconds until she does her battle skill. And time freezes when he does it, so we'll be able to see right here. 44. She did it at 39. See? She's doing it too far out. I think she's getting clipped at the very end when she does her second battle skill. She's not making it in there anymore. And she did it. She did like the first few times, so I don't know why it's... I don't know why it's being pushed out. 2, because then 4 has a weekly change of advantages. Like 4 would give us increased range, increased melee, increased critical damage, all this different things that we then can't gauge it. When we do this with other elements, we can't put them, like, compare them to each other. Are you wanting to know how much damage we can get overall? Like real damage? Like the real damage? Depending on your week, though, that's going to make a difference, though. Like we can do 4 with Emperor set, and then we can do it with Ariel set, and we can do it with a real team, and see what max damage we can get. But then again, it's going to matter on what the advantage is for that week for the Vortex boss. Okay, it looks like we were able to squeeze out just a little bit more damage, but this could be due to wild procs. I don't know. It could be due to her actually being okay with getting two battle skills in on his ultimate for a little bit there. But I can tell you right now, her battle skill is way behind now. Look at that, 24 seconds. Yeah, she's doing her battle skill at 5 seconds, so it's not helping. I don't know why it's getting pushed back. This is really weird. I'll go with this higher number, but the other number was 24.3 million. This is going to be 25.8. Here we go. They should all die here. Well, should have died there. So 26. 26 point. See, and if you look at our timing, could be the defense down as well. Yeah, right. Being able to proc 3 hits with defense down could be a variation. Yeah, there's going to be some variation in here. Redeploy. But if you look, like if you look here at when she's doing it on this one, you can tell when Casper does his ultimate, let's count how many seconds before she does her battle skill. Which makes me wonder about other people's battle skills, to be honest. All right, we got 45 seconds on the clock. 44. So 44 seconds. Let's see when she does hers. She did it right there in 3 seconds. A difference of 3 seconds. And then later on in the battle, she'll do it at a difference of 5 seconds, which means that she can't, you know, get these additional hits in during his ultimate. I have no idea why it changes. We could give her some skill haste. If we gave her some skill haste to kind of compensate for that, to get her battle skill down a little bit, maybe that would help. But look at what we got. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, her battle skill should not be changing. Because of their animations, I think. Well, if it's an animation pause, like the time should kind of pause, like the boss, when the boss, or like when Casper jumps over there, the time on the thing should kind of pause. But I get you. I mean, these animations, sometimes these animations are longer than other people's animations. But we're definitely 5 seconds and 10 seconds, and then it just gets all out of whack. If we put, and then look at the timing we have on this. Like, we've got her doing her, this guy's doing it at 15 seconds, right? So she should be doing it right when he does it, but she does it 3 seconds later. So even that's weird from the get-go. She's got 5 seconds to do the first one and then 15 seconds to do her second battle skill, but she's doing her second battle skill around the 18-minute mark, right?
Fly, O skybound birds.
So we could bring in, we don't need this crit rate on her. Critical damage with skill haste. Or 11. Guess we'll stick with that one. And this already has skill haste, right? Oh, no, that's on a different hero.
Fire is nothing to fear. It's my
9.6. I don't think that's gonna cut it. I mean, if we're slipping 3 seconds right away on the second battle skill she's doing, I don't think 9.6 seconds is gonna work. What we need are battle skill timing, maybe, to be able to time our battle skill when we want it to happen, which I guess still wouldn't really work. Or does that mean we need to move Casper out more and that will fix it? But the lock keeps pushing it further and further. But by the end of 150 rounds, we were at 5 seconds. So it starts out around at 3 seconds. It's pushing it back 3 seconds. And then by the time we end the battle, it's pushing it back 5 seconds. Why not just let them YOLO? No, we can't do that. That won't work. That won't time up at all. What we want to get is 2 of these right here. We got a 100% chance to wild proc on this. That's 3 wild procs, which means that's 9 daggers from Casper. Casper does his ultimate. We've got 15 seconds to get as many wild procs as we can during that 15-second window. And we want this bad boy right here to do 3 automatic wild procs, which it will with Alfie on the team. And then any other wild procs from any of the team will help out as well. But here's the main thing. We want this to happen twice during that 15 seconds. And for that to happen, maybe we need to move. And we didn't have to mess with her skill haste. Maybe we just need to move with that. If she's going to really do her timing at a second after this. Let's bring this up. All right, let's check it out. Be happy. All right, Casper's gonna go. At 42? 42 seconds. See, she's in a lock from that ultimate still. Look at her. Where's her battle skill? What? I see that battle skill, yeah. That would have been definitely in the 15-second window, but where was her first battle skill at? Okay, she's doing it at the same exact time she's doing her ultimate. That's odd. I didn't know that you could do a battle skill animation and an ultimate animation at the same time. That's pretty cool. But we know the timing then because she's doing it at the exact same time. That would be at 16.5 seconds. So if we do Casper at 16, her at 16.5. Yeah, YOLO won't work out. Who knows when they're going to be doing their skills then? We won't be able to maximize damage. So 42 again, 43, 43. Where's her battle skill? There it goes, right? I think it went at the same exact time that she did her ultimate. Which would mean 10 seconds later from that, from 42, it should go off at 32, right? 32, there it goes, 33. And I see daggers flying out. Like I legitimately saw 9 daggers fly out that time for Casper. But I feel like she's doing her ultimate late now. We could do her ultimate before Casper does his ultimate, which would help. Right? Casper goes. There she is, throwing off that. Okay, we just need her ultimate now to go. But I wonder if she's going to be an ultimate animation lock is the issue. Like, this is weird that we've got it kind of together right now. It's not a bad thing to have them doing both their ultimate and the battle skill animation together. That's actually probably saving us some like animation locks. So that's at 16.5. Okay, what if I want her to do her at 15.5 for Witches Remains? Well, if we did get up Witches Remains, no, it wouldn't be there. 10 seconds later, it's going to fall off regardless. I think we need to do it earlier than that. I think she's going to be in her ultimate animation lock by then. Do you think she'll be out of it by... I'm going to do 14.5. She leans forward and does like a laser beam. It takes a little while to hit. I feel like she's not going to be out of that in time. All right, 43 seconds. Is that what I'm looking at for Casper? Yep. Okay, she should be firing off right after this. See, but she couldn't. She had to wait to... You saw her hunched over? She had to wait because she was all hunched over from doing the ultimate, and that's from a second and a half ago, right? See, she's still hunched over. She's doing Hadouken. Coming back. Okay, that's still definitely in time for 10 seconds, though. Within the 15-second window. So she's going to do it again. Let's look for the daggers. I didn't see the daggers. So jacked up. All right, I'm going to go back to that time and just let it run with her doing those skills at the same exact time. Have you done much poison testing? We did a lot of low-ther poison testing. Let's go back to where she's doing both animations at the same time. That looked like it was actually pretty cool. Was it 16.5? Wing, what's going on, buddy? Have you done much poison testing? Trying to put a Otherworld poison team together with Twitch, Corin, Shink, Dinch, Lorentel. Can you get 22 million? Oh, you're just trying to do a 20... But which boss are you trying to do that on? The dragon boss? I don't know. I didn't fight the dragon boss at all. All my 15 teams are on all other bosses besides the dragon. Do I think you can get 22 million against that dragon? I don't know. It's hard. Probably the ice one? I haven't tried it against the ice one either. I don't know. But to get the most damage, you would use Twitch. What does Shink do again? Oh yeah, Shink throws the daggers and does melee. Shink has a lot of AoE, right? Dinch isn't gonna... Lorenthal, if you have poisons up, sure. Lorenthal, Twitch. Corin. I don't know if Lorenthal, Twitch, and Corrin will get you 22 million against that boss because you're not doing 100% additional damage. So I really just don't know. Remember, poison doesn't do a lot unless you have the 3 legendaries. If you're not rocking Vakana, Lothair, or what's the other one? Jathalee. I think poison's pretty sad. But with all the bonuses we have, it might be easy. Depends on your support too. Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow, Ron. You gotta go? All right, man. Have a good one. Thanks so much for joining me today. Appreciate it. I'll be here tomorrow. And hopefully tomorrow we can start on a new damage type. Whole brand new damage type. Is she still firing off at the same time? Let me check. I want her battle skill and her ultimate at the same exact time. All right, take care, man. Right now. I think so. Which would mean her battle skill will be coming up right then. Yeah, yeah. Show me some daggers flying out of it. Yeah, daggers are flying out. I think this is the best thing we can do right now. I don't know if this is going to give us more damage, but say we reach 30 million instead of 26 million, we know for sure that it's working. I don't know. I don't see. I see the second one working, but I don't see the first one because we got her doing her battle skill and her ultimate supposedly at the same time. Right after this. Yeah, I see the battle skill. I do. I see the battle skill fly. Okay, it's got to be working. Because her ultimate's a laser beam. The battle skill has the fireballs kind of like going up and down, up and down. You definitely see it. But I don't know if I see him throwing daggers though. Has to be. He's got it. He's doing his ultimate first. There it goes. It's up. Yeah, I see these daggers flying out. You saw them? I didn't see that many though. I think there's going on. There might be something going on with Casper too. Anytime you wild proc, he throws daggers. Maybe because we wild proc 3 times back to back to back on one skill, it's not giving us as many daggers as you would think it would, you know? But that would be something for them to look at with coding because we can't see that. Like our eyes can't see enough daggers flying. I can't tell. I can't tell if 9 daggers are flying out or 3 or 6. There's a lot. I mean, I see a lot flying out from him there. This is more though. And last time, remember at 25 stacks, we were at 5 million? Please let it be more. I want to get Casper up to doing some serious damage. But remember, this is the same gear as everybody else. So if we look at the tier list, if we look at the tier list and compare him to a lot of other heavy hitters this is the same gear we're using. With Rook, obviously Rook got 60 million. Like Rook blows everybody away. So Rook with Dargo and Whisk with this same exact gear, except for Roots. We're not using Roots. We're using Manicore statue on Alfie. We could use Roots to see if it increased it at all. But if we come down here to Girthin, Nord, we're still not even getting the 30 million that Bledin, Nord, and Girthin get, which mainly is mostly all about Girthin. She's getting 16.5 million. So, oh, I did their actual individual damage. I should do that. I should do it just like this. Right? It's my space. Got a somewhat looking like what we have over here. Great. Or I could just put them on the same sheet. I mean, we're doing the same. You're testing. Casper. Alfie. He's got set. This is Felicity. Damages. Okay, can we get more than 26 million, please? So it's still not looking good, you know? Well, Total Nana basically legendary. Yeah, she is, as far as damage goes, right? But she won't work well on this team because she doesn't do a lot of wild procs. When she does wild proc at a 30% chance, she increases her damage by 20%. But really, all we need with Total Nan is people wild procking, her getting that critical damage up to 100%. Once that critical damage is at 100%, whether she wild procs or not, especially with her buffing herself on that battle skill, she's still a monster. Like, she doesn't even need to wild proc. Once she gets that 100% additional critical damage, it's game over. She's just going to do a lot of damage. Plus, we gear her easily because she only needs 20%, 80% crit rate. So she gives herself 20 extra flat on her passive, which is insane. But here, she wouldn't do well. Here, she would do well as far as damage, yes. But overall, it's not going to increase the whole team's damage by a lot because Casper's damage is going to drop down considerably. And we've already tested that yesterday. When you look at that video I did, you can see that Casper's damage is at 3 million with a team like this. But then we take Erich and Total Nan and put them in with Casper. It drops down from 3 million to 1.9 million over 3 minutes on the target dummy. So we lose so much damage. And we can run that team. That'll really easy to run it. I don't even think we're going to get 26 million now. Maybe bad runs with Witch's Remains or Wild Procs. Hold on 1 minute. I think my kids are home. Yeah, it doesn't even look like 26 million with the change that we made. Something's not registering. I mean, I see him throwing daggers. I do. So sad. We just can't get damage, man. I want Casper to be at least decent, you know? He's a legendary. I want him to put with another legendary and be competitive. Just a little bit competitive is all I want. It's 23 million that time. Wow. Okay. 77 million with Total Nan Felicity, and if they don't nerf Snarl, they're not going to nerf Snarl. Pretty. Yeah. You got 70 million with Total Nan Felicity, and who else? That's it. Total Nan Felicity on season 3 with Snarl. Yeah, summons needed bad. corrosion stacks. You got Rash. I don't like Rash at all. Erich is cool. Casper, I'm trying to see if he can be cool. Felicity's pretty cool. I don't know. I'm trying to see. What 77 million... What was your whole team with Total Nan and Felicity? Okay, so I'm just going to keep the 26 million we had before and screw it. I don't know what's going on with skill timing or whatever else. We'll just put them... Oh, I didn't look at their individual damage. Shit. I'll look back through the VOD and have to look at their... If we had any of their skills up, like the DPS on the side, I'll look and put it in there. Okay, so what are we going to try out now? 26 million didn't even reach 30 million that Ice Blast does with a rare with Nord. But it's because of how amazing Girthin is. So we're going to switch this up to go with Total Nan.
Allow pests to disturb the order.
Yeah, depending on what season you get support with, right? But you're getting 77 million right... Are you on season 3? That's what I'm asking? So you're playing Sonarl, Ardrith, and Rose with Total Nan and Felicity, and you're getting 77 million. I'm just surprised you're getting 77 million because I'm using an exclusive, and I'm using Amon. Okay, so I'm using Amon right now on my account. She's an exclusive. I have a legendary artifact for her, and then I'm using another legendary aura, and I'm only getting 86, 87 million. And I'm using Sonarl, Ardrith, and Acelia. So I'm going, like, especially this late in the season, I'm going well past 150 stacks because we're so much stronger anyways, and I've got massive shields. So I'm going way past 150 stacks, up to 200 and something, and I've just got Amon in there. She's an exclusive, supposed to hit hard, right? And I'm only getting like 87 million. So I'm surprised that those two are doing so well. That's pretty awesome. So if I have Felicity in here, along with her and Erich.
You are going nowhere. Or they're down to ashes.
Let's put Total Nan in.
Glory of fire endures for eternity.
Okay, now Total Nan could have better gear than we're going to put on her because we've already got a 100% chance to crit. But we're going to go with the second gear. This is what we use with Witch's Remains. We'll look at Felicity, what she has on right now. We'll just nab that. Actually, what Felicity has on right now, we were trying to get skill haste. We're way over crit capped because she only needs 80. Who's going to be our main damage dealer here?
Fire is nothing.
I don't think gear set 1 and 2 is that big of a difference, but what are we going to use as far as... Oh, we'll use the statue on her. And we'll use Eyeball on Erich. Either one. They both have amazing battle skills.
Knowledge brings composure, especially during the chaotic war times.
The glory of fire.
We could make a change, but we'll just leave it like this for now. This is Felicity, Erich, and Tonal. Just kind of bummed out about Casper. I mean, if a team with Casper and Felicity with Alfie can't even do the same damage that an Ice Blast team with a rare and 2 epics can do, it's just kind of... I mean, we know how amazing Ice Blast is, but it's just... like when you look at that, you're just like, come on, man. Like, start balancing a lot of your heroes so we can eventually get to a better game, right? Just a better game overall. All right, so we're gonna have her do Witch's Remains first. 20 seconds, great. Have him go after and her go after. And that's all we need to do, right? Now we could put her on free fire because she does get such an increase in her ultimate gauge. What do you think? And we're trying to rely on her battle skill more too, so we could kind of just let her do what she wants to do, but I don't know how well that will play out. She's getting quite an increase. Okay, is this team going to do 30 million? Is this going to compete with Nord and Ice Blast and all those teams? Didn't I do a wild team for that tier list, though? I could swear I had a wild team in here. At least one. To compare when we were doing Corrosion, Ice Blast, Shadow. There. Look, I had Erich, Total Nan, and Netta in here doing 24 million, and I had Erich, Total Nan, and Felicity in here doing 27 million. Okay, so Total Nan would have Roots on. I had Erich with Witch's Remains. We had Total Nan with Roots. So this is different. We're actually using the same exact gear. You see where it says Gear 2, Gear 1, Gear 3? We're using that same gear set, except this time, Total Nan has Gear Set 2, and she's got Witch's Remains. Erich has Gear Set 3, and he has Eyeball. Felicity has Gear Set 1, and she's got Statue on. Let's see if we get this 27 million. I knew I'd already tested some of this stuff. Had Gear Set 3. All right, hold on. I'm just. Can you guys see? Oh, I'm sorry. You guys can't even see the damage being done. I'm cleaning up this new spreadsheet we're doing. Okay. Timing in Discord, but the modifiers this week are 40 critical damage or something. Oh, are they? I haven't. Yeah, it's a new week. I haven't run yet. So you got 77 million. I can run mine right now while we're running this. I'll run mine on my tablet, and I'll let you know what I get. I need to do all that stuff today anyway, so I got to multitask, or I'll run out of time. Where'd you post it? Under Vortex Boss? I don't see it in general chat. Oh, maybe Gen Chat, like regular Gen Chat? No. Yeah, Neko, where'd you post that? Season 3, my Rook team without exclusive artifact is out damaging floor teams with exclusive artifacts. I know. It's wild, right? It's so wild. I don't know what they're going to do about... Are they going to... I'm sure they're going to do something about Rook. They're just having to take care of... They have to take care of whatever's going on with this merger. Or takeover. Buyout. whatever it's called, buyout, purchase. Yeah, I got 87 million yesterday, but we do have a new week, so let's see what the bonus is. Boss takes 40% more critical damage. I thought it was that way last week too. When the allies cast an ultimate skill, heal the ally. No, that's the same. That's the same bonus that we've had all week long. Yeah, we don't start a new week until Friday. So I'm gonna get 87 million again. And I've got Sonaro, Acelia, Ardrith, Amon Leda, and Diantha. Put the gear on here, load it. Let's go. Going over here. Vortex team only is where you posted it? Vortex team. Vortex team only. Okay. We got a lot of Discord stuff in here. 79 million. And you've got Felicity Snarl. Yeah, I mean, what kind of damage is Total Nan and Felicity doing? Like, who's pulling in the most? How are we doing with Witch's Remains right now? Are we actually being able to apply it? Do we have enough accuracy on this gear? We were messing around and not having enough accuracy, maybe? But we're on the second boss, so we should have plenty. That could cause us to have issues. Just takes forever to run them. Yeah, it takes forever to run. I'm running mine right now too over here on my tablet, and it takes forever to run it because we go so many stacks. I feel like they can't do much and kind of kill themselves with the release on Rook. It doesn't matter. People can cry for a refund. There's no obligation to give them a refund, and they wouldn't give you a refund. People, games, all app games, all gacha games, nerf all the time, and they never give refunds. I would nerf them in a heartbeat, and I would not give a refund. Yeah, I'm not worried about, and I don't think they're worried about. Games usually are not worried about people crying about refunds. It's just bringing a hero in line, which is normal for any game, just like buffing heroes, normal for any game. Yeah, and I don't think they're going to do that as well, right? They're not looking to release a new, more OP hero than Rook, so that we have everybody else here. Rook way up there, and then above him we got somebody else. Yeah, they're not looking to do that. They're just busy right now. Honestly, I don't think they can focus on anything right now until they get the main core of whatever's going on with this purchase buyout done. I don't think they can focus on anything else right now. There's just too much that we need done. Yes. How did my guys die? Oh shoot. We didn't set up their skill timing. How did I last that long with an unkillable to 100 stacks and these guys have no gear? Oh, because we had them. That's why. Actually, it would have worked if Zephy doesn't have any skill haste. That would have worked. But Zephy was at 19.5. Sorry, guys. 10 times speed. We need the 10 times speed. Felicity's why Felicity's unscrolled? Holy shit, man. Are you serious? Oh. That would throw off the other testing we did. She scrolled. Your Felicity's unscrolled. Still, that's really good. I mean, Total Nan's a beast, just like Girth's a beast, right? Girth and Ice Blast is a beast. Total Nan's always going to be a beast. I failed to find your Excel and YouTube. Wild tier list. Best artifacts in... Huh? What is this? It's underneath the... video. Right. Okay, let's see what we get. And all these excuses I hear since weeks from mods. More about giving out info and stuff. Yeah, but they can't. They can't give out infos. This company has purchased them, so they're under. They just can't until the right people are in place, the right strategies in place, and then all the information and everything is mapped out and memos are sent out. It's corporate, man. You can't just they can't just say, okay, here's where we're at. So they got lawyers and all sorts of stuff going on. I'm sure with taking over a company, I'm sure it's huge. I know nothing about it. I know nothing about it, but I can imagine that with all the legal stuff, that it's massive, and then getting the people in place once you buy out a company is probably massive. Knowing what that company is doing right now, and then getting all your people in there that have the experience to say, okay, this is what we need to do to make it better. This is what we need to do to take something and make it really, really profitable. Here's what we want to do. And to get that whole thing done and ready to go is probably going to take a little bit of time. I mean, Tencent didn't just buy them so that they could just leave it the way it is. They bought them so they could make it much more profitable. That doesn't mean like change what the game is, but definitely make some changes. And hopefully a lot of the changes that we've all wanted, that we all need, you know? But I don't think it'll be too much longer. But I do agree why that's going on, though. You should do something like events, right? You should do stuff to kind of like distract people, right? Distract them from anything that's really going on. So you just run some kind of cool events, whatever you can run, like just some give me stuff. You go in there, you run some dungeons, you do whatever, like the kind of like the 7-day login right now you have for Shaltar. Just some kind of event to keep people busy. Have something pop up for the next 2 months that just keeps people really excited and busy, so they're not worried about balancing. They're not worried about everyone playing on the same season. They're not worried about anything else that's going on. I do think that would be smart. Yeah, and then hopefully communication will also get better with this. Once they have everybody in place, hopefully communication will get much better. That's the dream, man. That's the dream. Where's the 7-day login for Shaltar? Season 1, my friend. Start a brand new account. It's there. It's there if you want to give up everything you've ever done and all your stuff and all your work that you've worked toward. All you got to do is start a new Season 1 account. If I could get a full refund, I guess I would maybe do it. Get a full refund and then go play Season 1 with a new account. I would play a new account right now as free to play, just to do a new fun free to play account, if I could take that Season 1 account and jump it into the newest season when it comes out. But since I can't, I'm not going to play Season 1, 2, 3, 4, all that again. And you know that Tencent is going to be working toward making it to where we all play on the same season. I guarantee it. If you could get all heroes? Yeah, if you could get all heroes. Yeah, if we had hero login rewards like Raid does. I think when we look back on this, say in 6 months from now, we're going to see a very different game. We're going to be like, wow, they've done a lot of changes. But again, it's just going to take some time. But you're right. They should definitely be running some events right now to take people's mind off it, to where they're not even thinking about it. But it is weird, because if they don't do something soon enough, there are people going from Season 1 into Season 2 right now, correct? I mean, I don't know who's going into Season 2, but there's got to be people out there each week going from Season 1 to Season 2. And if they do that, they're going to be playing with no mythical gear, which they had. They're going to be playing without all the cool other little small gear sets that do additional damage on Vortex, additional damage on Goblin. Like small little fun things. They're going to go into a new season that has nothing. So it's going to be really weird for those people, I think. That'll be kind of strange. But again, they'll work it all out. We're all waiting, man. We're just waiting. Server alliance. We're having to actually merge our alliance, which I was kind of surprised to hear about. We've got 2 alliances, and I just got a message this morning from Atlas over on their Discord. Yeah, over on their Discord, Atlas said that they're merging at 8:30 a.m. We'll be merging Shadow and Shade this week, so please be patient while we shift things. Total Nan's doing 51% of it. 39 million. You're right. Yeah, it's just the 2 of them, so I would imagine she's doing that much more than Felicity. She's blowing Felicity away, but at least you get to use Felicity's leader skill. If you want to with that additional critical damage, you can't beat that. That'll enhance her damage and Felicity's damage. Unless you're going with the defense leader skill with Ardrith. I've been using my attack leader skill of 30% on my battle because my Sonaro with the decreased attack with the staff on him giving me massive shields, Ardrith in there, and Celia. I just go with the attack. Correct. Just Flora, Erich, and Total Nan. We were testing what? Casper? Yeah, we were testing Casper and it wasn't great, right? I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't... Let's see what we get here for this damage. I mean, I say it wasn't great, but it looks like it's going to be better damage than this. Which is pretty crazy. Same... 3 heroes, same exact gear. We got pretty much should be the same runes, same artifacts we're using, and Casper's gonna pull off more damage than these. Now you can't just pick Casper up against Total Nan because Total Nan needs nothing to do well. She can just use herself and wild proc and eventually get up to 100% additional critical damage. So Total Nan doesn't need any support. So we can't, unfortunately, I can't just say, okay, here's the same team with Casper. Because he needs a totally different team. He needs somebody to really wild proc, you know? I can't even put Casper in here with Erich and Felicity. Because there won't be enough wild procs when he does his ultimate. I really need Alfie. Like, you got to do it with Alfie. Yeah, I don't like Rash. Rash seemed like he was just bad. Like, overall, he just seemed pretty terrible. Well, we really got 23 million on that one run. 26 million on some other run. I don't know how we got that 26 million, but... So with these 3, we're only going to make it to 23 million. I don't know. I still feel like there's hope for Casper somewhere. Total Nan pulled in 7,270,000. Erich got... Everybody pretty much had the same amount of damage. 31%, 31% pretty much, and then 35%. Because we didn't do Total Nan all out with the gear, right? What's your gear on Total Nan? It's not like top of the line gear, but it's the same gear we're using it on everybody, so we're not. She could pull in some more damage, of course, plus she's got Witch's Remains. We could put her with 20% less crit rate because she doesn't need it, and we could go with more critical damage. We could. which would bring her up maybe total overall couple more million. But we're not doing 4, and we're not doing like the best gear. We're just doing the same gear on everybody. Witches remains. Yeah, witches remains. That's why she's pulling in like the less damage rate. That way she gets the 5 hits in there. We get witches remains up easier. We don't have to wait for Erich to do 5 hits over time, and we don't know if we're gonna get witches remains up on the first hit or the last hit. Now we could just do it to where we do it like this, right? We could use Erich the same way. We could have Erich fire off at 12 seconds, and then however long it takes them to do that, we could just have her do ultimate at 15 and her ultimate at 15. I think it takes them about 3.5 seconds to go. So we could do it this way. And it should be the same damage because we're using the same gear. But if I switch, let's see, Erich's gear. So if I switch, hold on one second.
Shield the queen from her woes.
All right, let's see if we get an increase here with her going with Erich was using eyeball, I think. He's using gear set 3. And now we're going to put attack on her. That one's pretty good. That's got attack and critical damage.
The glory
And then Erich has...
for eternity.
He's going to need a little bit more accuracy.
Musical instrument. Practice makes perfect.
And witches remains, and then we need the right side artifact. Or right side rune for accuracy. All right, let's see if he has, like, let's see how many seconds it takes to get that full barrage out from him. I'm pretty sure 3.5 seconds is plenty. Yeah, we don't need to do 3.5. It looks like it only took like a second and a half, right? It was much faster than I remember it being. For some reason, I remember his barrage like taking quite a long time to actually complete all 5 hits. 14? It's fine. This will work out well. Alright, so now we got Total Nan with gear set 3. Gear set 1 still on statue. Gear set 2 and witches remains for Erich. Alright, let's see if we can pick up some damage. Maybe we can pick up a few more million? I feel like we still need like a half second more on their ultimates. Erich finished that barrage and barely got up witches remains. Okay, you got it up right away then, so it didn't matter. I think we're good. I think he ends with a split second before they do their ultimate. We'll see. What'd you fall in love with? HP attack? What's going on? With the roots? The Rava roots? The Fey artifact? Yeah, the roots are great. On any epic, yeah, any epic or rare, the roots are fantastic. So good. And we actually were using the roots on some of the other testing we were doing. So we could probably we could do roots. Actually, let me look at this Nord one. Were we using roots here? Yeah, we were using roots on girth. So we actually should use roots if we're gonna really do a fair comparison. All right, let's switch her out. Let's switch her out and do roots on her really quick. Oh, we should have done with one with eyeball and then just switch roots and see
Glory of fire and
the difference.
eternity.
This also is good for survivability. Man. I tell you, the day they put 10 times speed on Vortex for us doing stuff on testing, that'd be so good. Or instant clear. Man, could you imagine if we could just instantly boom numbers? At least for the test server, right? They don't have to do it on live. It'd be cool on live, but at least put it in here on the test server. Okay, I did my run today and I got 78 million. You said you got 77 million on yours and I got 78 million. That's so sad. That's so sad for my Amon, which is a exclusive aura hero. That's so sad. And she's built with all critical damage and attack. She doesn't need any crit rate to crit, so she just got as much critical damage. Like all my pieces on her have multiple hits into critical damage and then really high like attack percentage or flat attack. And your Total Nan and Felicity are pulling in the same damage as my poor Aura exclusive. A skip a feature. Yeah, I think a 10 times speed is nice. Definitely we need 10 times speed on chief challenges when we go do the otherworld exploration because we're doing multiple teams, 10 teams, 13 teams, 15 teams. I'm doing every single day. If I had 10 times speed on that, it would really help out because it does take a couple hours to do all 15 teams. At least an hour or something it takes to do all 15 teams. And then Vortex boss. That's really all we needed, right? I think those are the only places that are left that we're missing increased speed. You wonder if anybody's done with otherworld bosses yet? Not yet. Nobody, right? Oh yeah, I wanted to see how many days we have left until we fight. Till we fight the new boss. We've got 3 days and 17 hours. Man, they need to get this boss on the test server quick. Please fix this guy on the test server, and then they've got to also load it on the main server too, right? We've only got 3 days and 17 hours. What? Okay, Shadow, our Chaos Shadow is at 100%, and our other two Domain and Adventure are at 80%, so they'll get there. I think we get 5% a day. So everything will be at 100% for us to get additional damage on that in-game boss, but damn, we need him updated. We got 3 days and 17 hours. It's wild. Your server isn't getting the buffs. I think you automatically get the buffs. What people were saying is that each day you get a percentage no matter what. Even if people really aren't attacking that many domains, by the end, like we have 3 days and 17 hours left, it will be at 100%. Yeah, so you'll get them. But it's only 15% additional attack, 15% defense, and 15% HP. Which is nice, really nice, but I don't think even if you didn't get it, it wouldn't be, I mean, everybody's not getting it, so it's not going to be a big deal, I wouldn't think, but from what I understand, from what everybody said, everybody gets those buffs no matter what. It doesn't matter how active your server is, you'll still get that buff when the boss comes out. You're gonna do them so slow over the day? Yeah, Oreos. It should work out. You're just gonna click on the boss and then come back to it way later on, hour later, hit save. I just do it when I'm watching TV. I can just go lay down and watch TV and go through and hit up all the bosses. Sometimes I'm falling asleep while I do it. Well, Total Nan's definitely pulling in a lot more damage now. So this seems like a much better setup. But before, everybody was pulling in 30%. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it's kind of similar to what we got before. But with Total Nan being such a beast, we should play toward her like this. We should definitely put more emphasis on her, since overall she can do way more damage. But since they were all at 30% before, now we got 20, 30, 43. Doesn't it seem like it's the same? For the last few days? Yeah, I'm not a big fan of those type of games. I will say that Wuthering Waves has really cool combat mechanics, because you can absorb enemies and play with all the different, you know, it's a split second, right? That you can have something come out and heal you, or turn into a rock guy and get shields, or do whatever else you find. I think it's pretty cool combat. The combat is definitely fast and fluid. So switching heroes, doing their ultimate, switching heroes, doing their battle skill, doing their ultimate, whatever they call it. I'm not sure. There's a skill, there's an ultimate, and then doing whatever kind of creature ability you have. It looks really fast, but collecting those monsters, right? So that seems like a really fun part to it. To go around, collect monsters, see what their abilities are, and test their abilities out. At least that's an interesting part. But I gotta say, man, if that game was, if it looked like Dragonheir, I'd be playing it right now. But every time, all these Chinese companies or Korean companies that make those type of games, Genshin Impact, Tower of Fantasy, Wuthering Waves, they look exactly the same to me. Like exactly the same. Can't we have a where's my Dragonheir version of that? If it was medieval, I'd be playing it right now. I swear they just cloned. I really feel like they just took Genshin Impact and Tower Fantasy and slapped on the new mechanic of being able to absorb a creature's abilities, and that's it. I have no doubt that game's going to do well though, right? It's going to be making so much money. But it doesn't have PvP like Tower Fantasy, and I don't know what else it's got in there. Like co-op. Is there any co-op? In Tower Fantasy, when I ran around, I could see other people. We actually grouped up to beat world bosses in Tower Fantasy, which was really cool. That's probably why I played that longer than I played... Well, I played that for quite a while. Much longer. I only played Wuthering Waves for one day. You can't even run around and see other people and group up and do bosses, can you? You haven't tried it yet? Yeah, but in Tower Fantasy, you could see other people. You could actually see them. And you could go and fight cool world bosses, and you'd shout out to people to come and join your group so you could take on that world boss. To me, that is a way more enjoyable experience than a single player game. And there was PvP in that. I guess that's why I really like that. It's more like an MMO, right? It's so boring and you can't skip. That's another reason why I didn't play it very long either. We only played it for 2 hours. We played it for 2 hours and I was like, man, I can't do this. I'm done. There it is, Total Nan the Beast pulling in 27 million. It's Total Nan or bust, that's it. We don't need anything else but Total Nan. 26 million. Who did what? Too bad Total Nan's not ranged, and we could do somebody with the what's it called? We could use Pipe Organ and increase her damage if she was ranged. I don't think anybody's going to be able to compete with her. I mean, whatever teams we make, it's just going to be like Total Nan and whoever else we put in there. What other wild heroes do we have? So when we did the spreadsheet and we looked at other wild heroes to do damage, and we looked at the amount of damage that Bronwyn did, what Thea did, and what Netta did, 1.3 million for her, 1.5 million for this girl, and 1.3 for him, 1.2 unless he had people wild procking a lot. Then he went up to 1.5, which is the same we get here, 1.5 here. She's not going to do any damage unless we have Foley in there. She drops down to like 1 million, way lower than rares, unless Foley's there to enhance this to make her do multiple hits. And then we're left with, like, there's not a lot to play with, right? There's just not a lot to play around with. The sad part is that even when we increase that damage to 26 million, it's still not the 30 million that Ice Blast gets with Nord, Bledin, and Girthin. Right? Oh, she had Roots on that time. We put Roots on Total Nan. Right? And we didn't really deck her out, right? We should have critical damage gloves and have her do more. What is the bonus for Vortex right now? Boss takes 30% more lightning damage. Increase any fight. Okay. I can see them adding another. I don't think they're going to. No. They're not going to add another damage type in Season 4. They're going to give us Wild Heroes and Burn Heroes. They're going to give us Rally Heroes and Radiant Aura Heroes. No way. No way they're doing another damage type. We need more of these heroes. We need more wild heroes to play with wild and stuff. Or they could start buffing some of these heroes if they wanted to, but there's no way. So we know Rash is out. We already did Casper. There's really not a lot to test here. Now we just need to bring in our girl here. And we want multiple hits.
Follow my lead. This hunger and thirst.
And we're going to use this gear that isn't even like a gear that does crazy damage. She's already got the enlightenment on. What was that? Half of that gear was Erich's gear? Okay.
Knowledge brings composure, especially during the chaotic war times.
Let's take Total Nan's gear here. Let's hope he has enough accuracy to get Witch's Remains up.
Can I not shield the queen from her woes?
All right, Roots. We're going to do this one again. But, okay, for her, though, this is where we need Witch's Remains on Total Nan. We don't want to wait and waste time with Erich. We want to have Witch's Remains applied when this happens. That way, for the full 10 seconds, we have Witch's Remains up. With Erich, we have to wait for him to bombard the area for 2 seconds, and we don't know if we're going to get it up right away or later on, right? This is how everybody I've ever seen, when you look at the highest damage dealers, we always see with Flora, she'll have Witch's Remains on. We'll try it this way, and then we'll turn it the other way. We'll switch them. Edit skill timing, 14. So when are we going to have him fire off, though? She fires off at 12. He's going to start going with his multi-hit. We want the multi-hit to kind of go the same time. She needs that multi-hit to take advantage. This is not going to be good. So say we do this multi-hit at 12.3. Then we wait 2 seconds and hit this up at 14.
Tools for you.
Are we getting Witches Remains up? Let's see, there's... Yeah. What? I wish I had Khaleesi and Dragonheir. You want the mother of dragons? I wish I had her too. Believe me, I wish I had her too. It would be nice if this Vortex boss had the same bonus that our current Vortex boss had right now in Season 3. That would be kind of nice. So if I'm playing this team right now, we could come in here with Sonarl. And actually, I've seen people... What did I see them play with? They were playing with Elminster and... Who's the other person they were using? They were using the same exact team, but with Elminster and something else. Arslan was using something else, but he's got a little bit of advantage because all his guys are all, you know, fully inspired. So they're much stronger. 8% attack, defense, and HP overall. Times 5. Right? I can't remember who else he was using with air. He's got Radiant and Fire. Let's see. This is already a lot of damage at 10 stacks from what we've had before, for sure. We could do a Sonarl and a Celia and then put the best gear on these three. And really deck floor out. Oh man. A long wait. So what's going on with everybody? Anything happening? We got such a long time to wait in between this. Let me go over to the Vortex boss and see what we've got for teams. Let's look at the difference in her derivative damage when we have decreased defense up and when we don't. I'm curious because here we go. 23 and then what? Was it 23 before? Had to be something lower. But we don't want to use, we definitely don't want to use Elminster because not everybody, Elminster's gone. Like you will never see Elminster again. So people who don't have Elminster can't even use that guy. Acelia? Okay, that makes sense. So we would just use... So it's kind of the same thing. We would just use Sonaro and Acelia instead, which is what I use. Sonaro and Acelia. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that with this Casper team and do this with the Florid and Total Nan team. You just finished season 1 as free to play? Hey, congrats, man. When do you go into season 2? Does it say how long before you go into season 2? Does it say anything about it being delayed? And did you get any of those juicy season 1 rewards? Did you just get a mailbox full of dice, or did you actually get the quest to be able to get Charlatch and Charlatch's artifact and all that? Because it was different for me. When I logged into one of my season 1 accounts that were waiting to be transferred over to season 2, I just got like a mailbox full of dice, 10 and 6 and something else and a whole bunch of worm arrow. But I still didn't get the quest to fight Charlatch, or to get him, and to get the artifact, the legendary artifact. But then when I logged into a brand new account, I got that quest. Instead of me getting all that stuff in my mailbox, I got all those sweet rewards we get. So many summons the first few days. And then I got the 100 purple dice. I got so much. And then by day 3, I got Charlatch. 8 days for it. Okay, but what did you get for season 1? Like reward wise, what did you get since you're so far in the season? Did you actually get that free legendary and legendary artifact? Or did you just get mailbox gold dice? Which is weird in itself to have people be in the same season and get different rewards. It's so strange. Oh, man. Yeah, we need those auto tickets. At the end of the season, like the last month of the season, we don't have all those we don't have those dungeon quests or even arena quests. Not quests, they're called events, right? We don't have those events to do, so they don't give us those double tickets. We need those double tickets. And we've got a lot of stamina to spend too. So I'm having to go spend that stamina and then do manual. Do a run, do a run, do a run. Yeah, they need to work on that. They've said that a lot in content creator chat to them. So I'm sure they're gonna be working on what happens at the end of the season, what happens at the beginning of the season, end of the season, all the stuff. It was an update with the affinity bonus change. I was in the update, so that means you got the legendary, you got all that, you got the affinity bonus, you got the 20, you got the mythical gear, 20 floors to Fae, the new arena stuff, you got the new training pit for heroes to throw in there to level them up, all that stuff. Okay, great, that's awesome. Really? I think free-to-play have it awesome if you're starting right now. Like Fed right here, he's had it awesome for season 1. Yeah. With that change, it made it fun. See, now this can't be accurate. Like I don't believe this is accurate as far as we got to put better gear on Flora if we're going to do this. We can't disgrace her like this. We have to go 400 enlightenment. I mean, that's just it. We can't use this gear. We got to go 400 enlightenment gear. Since the season 1 release, because season 1 players are happy with WoW season 2 are salty. Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. And they didn't address that. Because they can't address anything right now with, you know, everything's NDA or it's under wraps. It's all quiet. We can't talk about any of it right now. Now, she only has the eyeball on, though. So this is pretty good with only her having the eyeball on, I think. If we compare 32 million to a lot of the other teams that we use pretty much the same gear with. All right, Flora with the eyeball doing 13 million. $32 million when a lot of those other teams we tested for season 3 were pulling in with Rook. All Rook teams were doing 44 million, 50 million, 58 million, 60 million. And we know Rook does more than Flora, even with her exclusive artifact. Rook's just crazy, right? So being that we have a Rook team, we have this team pulling in 32 million. It's still not competing with Girth, Beldel, and Shinna, but it's because we need different gear on Flora. This is why. And we need to test this out with her doing Witch's Remains instead is what we need to do. All right, let's go over here to her and put a little more effort into this. So we're not going to switch around the gear too much. We're going to keep it the same gear, but we're going to look for Enlightenment attack, which we did. We've got Enlightenment and attack, which we've got. We've got attack plus Enlightenment, which I feel like we're doing really good with that. Over here, we've got attack with no Enlightenment. So let's go... I mean, we don't want to go too crazy. We're going attack percentage, Enlightenment substat. Wait a minute. When we tested her before, we didn't have this glove on her. Do we have it on any of our other ones? Well, that's messed up. That's causes issues right there. So attack with Enlightenment. So we need to scrap those other numbers we have. 2 hits into Enlightenment, great. Enlightenment or attack percentage, either one. Three hits into Enlightenment. I think that's kind of hard. Let's go. There's 2 hits with 2 hits into it. That's almost just as crazy. So many hits. And then we've got 2 hits into Enlightenment on... No, we got attack percentage, crit rate, and attack. Okay, that'll work fine. What's our Enlightenment up to? 3-3? Let's get it a little higher. I really wanted to get it to 400. Like anybody who needs Enlightenment, I kind of want to test them with 400, but then it's not like the same kind of gear that we've got on everybody. Kind of, I feel like. Where was that crazy 3 hits? I guess we'll use that wild 3-hit one. I thought we had one with 3 hits here. Enlightenment with attack. All right. 371. Now she's got gloves that do more damage. Now we just need to get Total Nan over here to do...
The glory of fire endures for eternity.
Well, I kind of want to play it this way now and see what happens. Even with Erich going and then Total Nan going after her. Marketing department, they can actually... What's going on? That is the worst CMM. What's CMM? Comment? Have you made some tests with the summons yet? Have I read it? Have I read like what her damage can do? Yeah, I use her. I have her on one team that I use for a chief challenge. What's going on with the comment? I got discouraged by the community manager in the CC chat when people complained about Rook. Yeah, but I don't think they're going to release a banner for Rook soon. It was like, I think they were referring to the banners that are the each elemental banners, which they will do an elemental banner. I guess once they do that mid-season anniversary stuff, they'll have some kind of elemental to where we can summon all on poison. And then if you do get an exclusive, you're going to get either Lothair or Rook. But I don't think... I still think they're going to do that, I guess. I don't know. Right. The thing is, we're talking to community managers. These community managers do not have the say in any of this stuff. Like, they just get given very little information to give to us. That's why they can't tell us anything right now. That's why they're not even making those kind of statements they used to make to you before, because they're not allowed to say anything to us unless it's approved and that it's going to happen, is what's happening right now, until they do get done with all this transfer stuff. Yeah. Believe me, they want information too. The community managers want to be able to tell us something so we'll get off their backs as well. They want to. But unfortunately, the community managers are just here to, yeah, they're just, you know, they get content creators in here. They deal with content creators being part of the program. They deal with all the different events that we have going on the Discord, all those events we've got. And they get moderators. So they're busy getting moderators and letting moderators go who don't do their job anymore. All the behind the scenes stuff that have to do with content creators, they're doing that. And there's a lot of events. I mean, they do run a lot of events in Discord. Not that I necessarily partake in them or even read what they are. They're busy doing all that kind of stuff. And then they're waiting to give us information when they can. And they collect all of our feedback and they give it to the devs, I guess, on a weekly basis, what I would guess. So they're pretty busy. But they just can't say anything. They just can't say anything yet. Not yet. So we didn't change Total Nan at all. We made sure that Erich was doing Witch's Remains right now. We'll switch them in a minute. But we do have Flora's Enlightenment much higher now. So it should be. Let me take notes. Increased Flora's damage or enlightenment. What was it, like 371? From like 211? Debate moderators. Well, they're not even, like I said, they're not even trying to talk to us right now. They just don't have any information. So every once in a while, they'll come in there throughout the day and say, well, thank you for your feedback. We're taking it to the devs. That's it. That's all they're allowed to say. They just got to wait. We were hoping, though, by the end of the month, right? By the end of this month that we were going to get new information on next month because they pushed everything to next month. But, you know, they could push it again. We just don't know. But the D&D collaboration, I'm kind of worried about because you can't really keep pushing that, right? If you have a 2-year contract with Dungeons & Dragons to come out with a hero every 9 months, I would think that that inked contract, that signed legal contract, that you're only allowed to use those heroes for a short period of time. And if they keep pushing that back, then they're not going to be able to fit in all the heroes they wanted to. And that there might be some kind of issues with that. I don't know. I don't know the legalities of doing a collaboration and sticking to like a 2-year timeline of a hero coming out whenever they're supposed to come out. Yeah, well, that's always the case, right? Any community manager, it's always like that. Sometimes, I don't know. When they came out with some good updates, we were always talking about how great the updates were. Like when they came out with the arena system, we were telling, you know, tell the devs and you guys are doing a great job. The arena changes are amazing. You know, when there's good changes, we do tell them that there's good changes. And they're just, you know, season 1 changes were awesome, right? For season 1. If you're a season 1 player, yeah, they were awesome. Sure. We told him as much. This is going to be a lot more damage. We're already at 24 million. This should be a crazy amount more damage. End of the month, since it'll be you'll be on a cruise from then. Hey man, it's nice. Small King going on that cruise. I've never been on a cruise before. I'm sure it's gonna be fun. Yeah, internet would probably, I don't know. I wonder what kind of internet they do have out there. Fully inspired. They won't do that. I actually like the D&D events. I like fighting against whatever boss we have, and we get to use all of our heroes. We don't have to worry about gear. It's fun. I think it's fun for everybody, because that way somebody in season 1, like Fed over there, he can partake in it. No matter what his roster is, they'll be max leveled. He can play the season 1. He can play that new boss, get some rewards. Hopefully get the legendary if maybe he has to spend some money to do some gold dice, but at least it's a nice break. I think it's a really nice break for me at the 60-day mark when they do the Dungeons and Dragons collaboration. I really like it. And it's a new hero that we can play around with and have some fun with. He's not even on the test server. Like, we don't even know what it is. There's nothing on the test server right now for us to test that out. And I enjoy that. So I'm hoping that they don't just give us a hero. I'm hoping they just start it back up and maybe have to do a D&D hero every 2 months to catch up. Have I tested the new what? Did you test the new Ice Shielder? Yeah, I tested her. I mean, she's just going to give you shields and decrease attack when your guys are attacked with shields on. I used her to go through Pillar. That I think that she was like absolutely awesome. She's not Ardrith awesome. She's going to give you shields when you start the battle, right when you zone in. So that'll protect your people for a little bit, and then she'll give it on her ultimate, and then her battle skill is pretty much like a non-use because she just removes shields, I think, with her battle skill. Single target, remove shields. It's okay. Very situational, and then again, we get to do an AoE, try to freeze some people, and then put up shields. It was all right. I did it. Stand up. You've earned an hour towards your stand goal. I didn't even stand up. What are you talking about? Stop lying. All you can eat, awesome food, relaxing. It's all satellite internet. Early in season 4, you're going to be using them. Yeah, I'm sure maybe early they'll be useful, but she's not a legendary like Ardrith. She's not one of those legendaries that you get and you're like, okay, I'm going to use this girl in a lot of stuff. I don't feel like she's that way. I didn't get to use her coming up in Grave of Venom, like trying her out there. It'd be interesting, but I don't really have a lot of good... I don't have any good Frost support. I didn't get Finya. I don't have Phalosia. So if I'm going to use her, I need to use her with another element that's got some good support going on there. And then good DPS. And I don't think I'd use her there anyways. Grave of Venom is pretty much easy with a lot of teams. And I don't think her shields, along with freezing some of the wisps every once in a while, decreased attack would be cool. I think you'd much rather you'd use we use a Dolphus or something like that for much bigger shields. Now we're talking 41 million. Okay, that makes a lot more sense compared to a lot of the damage we did with... Where is total name? All right, so 41 million for this team brings it in line with a lot of the other stuff that we've tested that makes a lot more sense now, right? So if we have 41 million with Flora with just the eyeball on, nothing fancy, We can see that her 41 million brings her in line with Rook with the eyeball on. But not really. I mean, Rook is a totally different beast. We're not using... We're using the same gear, yes, but Rook, you just need people that do a lot of damage. That damage just keeps compounding over and over as corrosion on the boss, and then Rook goes haywire and does crazy damage like up here, right? 60 million. So it is pretty much in line. Like if she's doing 41 million with the eyeball and Rook's doing 60 million up here on this good team, then that's pretty much what we've seen. We've seen Felicity fully inspired, Flora fully inspired with her exclusive artifact, and she still can only do like 200 million on the Vortex boss right now, where a Rook is doing like 1 billion or whatever craziness on my server. So yeah, this makes a lot of sense. And for 41 million, that beats out... Well, it didn't necessarily beat out this team with Shinna, Beldel, and Girth, but I would think it would. That's an exclusive here too, but Beldel I haven't heard awesome things about. This is Beldel with a statue, Girth with roots. I mean, these are two pretty powerful. Beldel and Girth together, probably really powerful with Shinna. 41 million beats out all these shadow people, except for 41 that I was getting down here with the same gear, with the roots, witch's remains, and horseshoe. For 150 rounds with the same setup we were doing right now. Like all these teams were run exactly on Vortex 2 with the kind of gear that we have and to 150 stacks for the Vortex boss. Interesting. Thing about Flora is, like I said, if you put on her, like right now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put on her exclusive artifact. Look at this. This is at 41 million, right?
Perceive my caress, and I shall
We go over here and we put on her exclusive. Because if we put on a Scarlet Ring, we're going to get very similar damage that we got with, because the critical damage really isn't taking a lot of effect with Flora. So we'll get even the 30% bonus when the wild proc. We're going to get the same damage as eyeball, because the eyeball is so good on her. And if we come over here and we use the flame tongue, we're going to get the same damage again, because crit rate really isn't needed. The majority of her damage, like 80% of all of her, maybe 95% of all of her damage is the derivative damage. So this crit rate isn't doing much for her either. So we get the same. Eyeball is so strong on her compared to flame tongue and this. But when we switch over to, where's she at? The pearl necklace, where'd it go? There. This thing is, like, I don't even get it.
the very day I sent.
It's crazy sauce. And fire domain, man, you use Snarl everywhere. Absolute beast. He said everything belongs to me. All right, let's see what we pull up here. So this is really how we should have been testing Flora anyways, which is fine. So Flora's pulling in 41 million. Alfie is pulling in, Casper pulled in 26 million. Total Nan, Felicity, and Erich pulled in 26 million. And I don't think there's really any other wild teams to really make. I mean, we know what wild heroes do damage off the sheet we have. So if we need to make a wild team for a chief challenge, then we just use the ones that get the most damage. Off the video I did last night on YouTube. But I think most people are just going to use Erich. They're going to use Total Dan if they have her. And then you just bring in a rare if you need to. Bring in an epic if you need to. Casper, Foley, and Felicity. Casper, Foley. No, not Foley. Casper, Alfie, Felicity. Casper, Alfie, Foley. Could definitely do chief challenges for 22 million. I would guess. But if you have total nan, you can do the same damage with ease. I think easier, because then you just do total nan Erich and throw in whatever else. It's awesome. Whatever else that you have that's the strongest. We need more wild heroes right next season. Season 4, new wild, new burn heroes. Don't let me down, game. Please. It would be so... Like, how cool would it be to see new wild legendaries, new wild epics, maybe throw in a wild rare, and then have new burns go in there too, wherever we need some new burns. Although I feel like we got a lot of burn heroes. But that's okay. More is always better. Then we can make some cool, new, unique teams. Look at her derivative damage is hitting for 149 million now. I thought it was 149 million. What was it? Oh, it's only 90. Well, it keeps going up. There's 100. There's 100. How does it keep going up? 145. There it was. Must be her exclusive artifact. Necro, yeah. Well, we don't have necrosis. Doesn't have any kind of good. What is necrosis? We just got buffed with Estella for necrosis. We've got Megan as a rare. Torn is a legendary. What else do we have? That's it, right? Megan, Estella, and Torn. And it is true, like, to do damage on Vortex, to do damage on Chief Challenges or anywhere, even dungeons, having amazing support is the most important thing. Makes it easy. I did test her. Is she good now? She's better. She is better. She doesn't have a battle skill heal. She just does increased defense along with removing buffs, blocking buffs. If I had to play Estella, you still wouldn't main like you wouldn't be bringing up Estella to help you. Say you're playing the beginning of the season. You're not going to level up Estella to help you get through and progress through Venom, Grave of Venom. You need something more than that, because she has to wait till she goes to her ultimate. Then she fires off her ultimate. She's healing 2 people with the lowest max HP, which her ultimate's awesome. Her ultimate's always been awesome. Now it's even better because it doesn't just do her and somebody else. It does 2 of the people that are the lowest. And now she'll give the person with the most HP, which could easily be your tank with the most defense and the most HP, 25% additional healing and 25 additional shielding. But you got to have somebody else with her, because again, she's only doing healing during your ultimate, which is great, but it's not going to keep your people alive. Like against the Grave of Venom, the Harpy's going to come in and smack you so much. You need somebody else in between there to keep you alive. And again, it wouldn't be somebody that you would use. Would you use her to help you heal for another Chief Challenge just because you need more support? Because you're throwing in so much support to get so many teams in for Chief Challenges? Yeah, she's good now. She's better. Definitely better. Is she even like Quirion status? I don't feel like she is. I feel like Quirion on a 16-second cooldown is a rare enlightenment, giving you heals, giving you shields on his battle skill. Early game is much more viable to push than waiting on this lady to do awesome with her ultimate healing. But maybe those two together would be nice. He could feel the gap in between her getting in there to do all those amazing battle skill heals, or Adolphus with her, something like that to fill the gap in there. But she is much better, but she's not Adolphus. She's not Adolphus tier for an epic support. No, definitely not. Oh, no epic tank. Yeah, but I don't think we're going to get many heroes that are like Furbath and Garius. Do you? Do you think they're actually going to come out with another tank healer, decrease attack healer, or a board-wide defense-based healer? I don't think they're going to do that again. I think it's going to be a long time before we see that. They'll probably do it, but I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. Zarloth for necrosis. Yeah, he does good AoE healing based on his attack percentage, right? When he does damage. But it's not, it's a support healer, right? With the CC for the tank, with a CC tank to get his ultimate faster. We're already at 48 million. We were at 41 million with the eyeball. This is how strong this girl is with her exclusive. What is it? Pearl necklace? We're only at 80 stacks. This is gonna be a lot. That's why you don't play Necro? Yeah, I would play them too, right? If we had good support. It just depends on who's Necro is with. If Necro was with Radiant, then we could bring in a whole bunch of Radiant support and it wouldn't be a big deal. If I wanted to play a whole bunch of summons or I wanted to play Shadow, if I'm with Radiant, I got so many options for healers and shielders and tanks. I just need somebody with decreased attack then. And we've got Rose. If you have Rose, we have decreased attack. Otherwise, you have to play something like Clovis, which you don't want to. You know, there's not a lot of good decreased attack for those. But that's what I like about these games, because over time we get cool heroes to fill those slots. And it's fun. Each season is nice. I love getting all those heroes every season. They can't stop doing that. We need all these heroes every season. Plus, they need all that revenue to have people spend money for all those heroes every season. I can't wait to see what we get next season. If we're only 3.5 days away from fighting the in-game boss, and then I didn't look at what we need for the end of the season. Like, what are we at? If we don't have to wait around for a merger, I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to. We're gonna probably have to wait our season to get other people in season 3 caught up to the very end, and then kind of merge us together. It's what we had to do last season. It says 20 days. Still 20 days? Damn. So we're really not that close. 20 days left until season 4. I'm ready to go, man. I want season 4. I want to be done with season 3. I want to get some cool stuff out of this season 3 in-game shop. And then I want to see what kind of new heroes we have coming out. And by usually, right? Usually for season 1 and season 2, we'd be on a test server testing out all the new heroes. And in 10 days from now, or 15 days from now, we would be doing it a good amount, you know, at least a week before the new season came out. And I don't know what's going on with that. I want to test the new heroes out. Damn, she's already at 70 million. I guess if I had to, I could pull 2 Floras. You think one day they'll make it kind of easier to get exclusive heroes? Say you summon 80 times and then you're guaranteed to get an exclusive. It won't give you the one you want, but it'll just give you a random exclusive. Because they're everything. Without them, I mean, that's it. When you look at all leaderboards, it's always something with an exclusive in there. Always. It's basically you got an exclusive or you just kind of like sit there and go, man, I wish I could do some serious damage like they do. $54. She went from 22.1 million to 54 million. $9,495. It's pretty wild. Perk, you got him last season on the in-game boss. Is that where you used him? Yo, Oreos, what's up? You back? And get the same progress as the ones in the new season. Great. What are you talking about? Would it be good to just fully reset the stories to season 1? They don't need to reset a story. The only thing that season 1 players are getting over us are like a 7-day progress quest. And we could do that quest right now. The quest just tells you to go beat Flame Domain, go beat this, go beat that. And then you get Charlat, you get a whole bunch of gold dice, you get Worm Arrow, and then you get a legendary artifact along with some other little quests. It's not really tied to the story at all. So if they wanted to give us the rewards for that, yeah, they would just give us the quest. And they wouldn't have to change it. It wouldn't be actually a change to the game itself. It would just be an event going on. Is all it is an event. So all right, guys, I guess I'm going to head out. We've been on for 2 hours and 40 minutes. And we've seen how amazing our grill is here. But I don't know. I don't know how to gauge these numbers. I feel like I want a Vortex Boss 4 that always like has no bonus to it. So we could go into the Vortex Boss 4 no matter what the bonus is. Like there would be none. Instead of giving 40% additional critical damage, 30% additional to cold damage. I want to be able to play on Vortex Boss 4 and not really, you know, with different gear and not really on 2. But if we look at the damage we have on this and this one, let me put these over here. Casper can do somewhere around 26 million with this gear, with Statue, Eyeball, and Witch's Remains on Felicity. Same thing with Felicity, Total Nan, Erich. And then we get crazy numbers with our girl here, Flora, with the Eyeball or the necklace. And then if we look at what we tested before, like yesterday and did the video on, we were hopeful that Casper could pull in some good numbers with a team with Alfie and Felicity, what we did, because if we bring in Erich and Netta, it's garbage. Casper just can't do anything. So again, I think he's okay for Chief Challenges. Unfortunately, I don't have him on my main account, so I can't really go test that. I think with Alfie and Felicity, Casper, he'd be great on a Chief Challenge to get the damage we need. Vortex Boss, you'd have to have 2 strong support to last a really long time. And I'm using an unkillable team. And I'm only getting a 3-team bonus. And then Felicity and the rest, like Felicity does good damage. This is just single damage here that we're looking at. Felicity does good damage. Total Nan does amazing damage. Erich does good damage on a team. And we want his multi-hit for Flora. We want her multi-hit for Flora. But then we come down here to Alfie, Rash, Foley, and the rest. And it's just... their damage is fine, especially for like a Chief Challenge. But if you want to go Vortex, like if we're going toe-to-toe on Vortex against other people, we'd be looking at Vortex damage here. And without Flora, we'd be looking at, 26 million for the team, right? But if I pit 26 million up against all Ice Blast, it's lower than all Ice Blast. So if I could get the same good support with Ice Blast, 2 people to keep us alive, then Ice Blast blows Wild away pretty easily. And I think we already know that, right? Because Ice Blast is so damn strong. And then over here, we see 26 million. So Wild kind of does better than a lot of Shadow, unless we get to the Shadow exclusive. Just basic Wild people. And then kind of is behind a little bit in when it comes to this as well. But if we're doing 2-man teams with 3 support and 2 DPS, that would be a different story. If we just go full on Total Nan, I don't know how to test this properly, honestly. Because if we do 2-man teams and we go full Total Nan and just go like full Total Nan with 2-man teams and then go full Girth with 2-man teams, we could test them against each other that way. Same gear for Total Nam, same gear for Girth. They both give each other 20% chance to crit. We could do it. That'd be a fun video, at least like a matchup video. Girth versus Total Nan. Who's the best? Just because there isn't anything going on in the game right now, and as a content creator, you want to come out with fun videos. It would be fun to gear them to the 9s on my main account right now. Bring in enough support with 3 people to keep them both alive to a certain time limit against the Vortex boss on 4, as long as I think it's critical damage this week. This would be a perfect week for me to do that. for me to do Girth versus Total Nan. A perfect week. Because they both do high critical damage, so getting a bonus for critical damage is fine for both of them. That'd be kind of fun. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. What did I miss? You're looking forward to Season 4? I am too, man. I'm looking forward to Heroes. And the only reason why I'm looking forward to it is because they've got to be wild and burn heroes. It's got to be heroes that add on to what we currently have. If Season 4 comes out with another damage type, I got to be honest, I'm not going to be looking forward to Season 4. I'm going to be like, man, another damage type? Boring. Boring. So boring. That's my Garius impersonation. All right, guys, I'm going to head out. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll be back tomorrow, and then maybe tomorrow we can do that video on those two monsters. I don't know if there's any other type of epics that's as monstrous as Girth and Total Nan. Are there? Do we have any other epics that are that kind of caliber single target damage dealers, like massive, and other... Epic and other elements? We'll look around. But I like the head-to-head pairing. The head-to-head would be kind of fun with those two to see what we can do. Usha? Now, we already got Girth. Girth's going to blow Usha away, I'm sure. But we could try. If we can make... Yeah, Usha's a rare. If we can make Usha do the same damage that those two do, that would be something special. Yeah. But I don't think we can do that. She does good damage. Don't get me wrong. If there's frost up, she'll do amazing damage. It's a lot. And then she'll get the attack speed increase. She'll do double damage if there's frost up on her, right, from time to time on her basic attack, is it? Or something? She's a boss, but I don't think she can compete. But we'll try. We can try. All right, guys.